Prices aren't just going up, they're exploding. One week it's eggs, the next it's beef, then suddenly your $2 chocolate bar is $5 and your grocery bill feels like rent. But it's not just random inflation. There are real, specific reasons behind each price spike: bird flu, drought, climate chaos, tariffs, and straight-up corporate greed. I've been tracking the numbers, watching receipts, and talking to real people feeling the squeeze. So, if you're tired of wondering why your grocery budget keeps disappearing, you're in the right place. Let's break down the 7 everyday foods quietly wrecking your wallet, and what you can actually do about it. Food number 1, eggs. Let's talk about eggs. Remember when you could grab a dozen for just $3? Well, that's history now. Egg prices have soared, up over 41% compared to last year. I was shocked when I saw a carton priced at $7 the other day. The reason? A severe outbreak of bird flu, officially called highly pathogenic avian influenza, has been devastating chicken farms since 2022. And according to the USDA, it's still active in 2025. When a flock gets infected, millions of egg-laying hens are wiped out, leading to a major shortage and rising prices. And it's not over. The Economic Research Service predicts prices could jump another 33% this year, and in a worst-case scenario, nearly 50%. That's wild. Suddenly, a simple breakfast or a batch of cookies costs way more. I even know someone who started raising backyard chickens just to feed her family without breaking the bank. Even though prices dipped slightly in April and May, they're still far above normal. And experts say we could see another spike this summer. If eggs are a regular part of your meals, prepare to spend a lot more just to keep them on the table. Food number 2, beef and veal. If you're a fan of meat, especially beef, get ready, prices are soaring like never before. Over the past 12 months, beef costs have climbed by a staggering 8.6%, and unfortunately, the trend isn't slowing. I caught myself staring in disbelief at a package of ground beef the other day. What used to be $4.99 is now approaching $7 for the exact same amount. So, what's causing this surge? It all starts with the farmers. Persistent drought conditions have dried out grazing lands, leaving ranchers no choice but to buy costly feed to keep their cattle alive. At the same time, grain prices are up significantly, and higher interest rates are making farm loans tougher to access. Many small-scale cattle operations just can't survive under this financial strain. According to USDA data, beef prices have been inching up every single month, 2% in January, 1.6% in February, and another bump in March. These numbers may seem small individually, but they add up quickly. That roast dinner you used to make for the family? It's becoming a budget buster. Weekend burgers. Expect to spend a lot more. And steaks. Well, they're starting to feel like luxury food. Still, there are smart ways to save. I joined a local meat co-op recently, buying directly from small farms in my area. Not only did I save nearly 30% compared to supermarket prices, but the quality was noticeably better. Another money saver: look for value cuts like chuck roast, flank, and brisket. With slow cooking or marinating, these less expensive cuts can taste just as amazing as the pricey ones. With projections pointing to another 4.4% increase by the end of the year, it pays to adjust now. The meat price surge is real, but with a little planning and creativity, you can still enjoy your favorite beef dishes without blowing your budget. Food number 3, fresh produce. I picked up a small pack of blueberries the other day, and nearly dropped them when I saw the $11 price tag. Fresh produce prices are climbing fast, and it's not just luxury items, it's the fruits and vegetables we rely on to stay healthy. A recent study from Yale's Budget Lab reported that new tariffs could push produce prices up by 5.4% almost immediately, especially for imports. Countries like Mexico, Canada, and China supply much of our fresh produce: avocados, berries, tomatoes, and new import taxes are making it more expensive to bring them in. Grocery stores aren't absorbing that cost, they're passing it straight to us. My neighbor mentioned her family's produce bill has gone up $40 a month since January. And she's not alone. It's not just tariffs. Climate change is playing a major role too. With 2024 marking the first time we crossed the 1.5 degrees Celsius global warming threshold, 2025 is already off to a chaotic start. Droughts, floods, and unexpected heat waves are destroying crops. I recently saw a California farmer on TikTok show how a spring heat wave wiped out his entire strawberry field in just 3 days. Less supply means higher prices, plain and simple. Seasonal savings are also disappearing. Summer used to mean affordable zucchini and tomatoes, but not anymore. The USDA now expects steady price hikes year-round due to disrupted supply chains and rising labor costs. I've noticed it myself, bell peppers that used to cost $2 are now almost $4. And forget imported specialty items unless you're ready to splurge. Mangoes and dragon fruit might as well be luxury goods now. So, what can you do? I've started shopping at local farmers markets. They sometimes offer better deals than grocery stores. Frozen produce is another solid option. It's harvested at peak ripeness and frozen quickly, so you still get nutrients without the high cost. Big bags of frozen berries and mixed veggies have become staples in my kitchen. And if you've got a windowsill or small balcony, growing your own herbs or greens can help a lot. My little basil plant alone has saved me $30 this year. If you're trying to eat healthy without draining your wallet, it's time to get creative, because fresh produce is quickly becoming a luxury. Food number 4, sugar and sweets. Bad news for anyone with a sweet tooth. Sugar prices are climbing fast, and it's not just about the sugar you bake with. According to the USDA, sugary products are expected to rise another 3.4% in 2025. I saw a basic chocolate bar priced at $4.99 last week, up from $2.99 just a year ago. That's a 67% jump. But the impact goes beyond desserts. Sugar is hidden in almost everything: pasta sauces, bread, even so-called healthy snacks. A Yale report recently showed that these hidden sugars are quietly driving up grocery bills across the board. And with new tariffs affecting imports, especially from Mexico, items like chocolate and specialty sweeteners are getting even pricier. Local bakers are struggling too. One I spoke with said she's had to raise prices just to cover rising costs. And with cocoa prices at record highs, chocolate is starting to feel like a luxury item. Manufacturers aren't helping either. Ever notice your favorite treats shrinking while prices stay the same or go up? That's shrinkflation in action. Climate issues are making things worse. Key sugar-producing regions like Brazil and India have faced extreme weather, hurt supply, and driving prices even higher. Meanwhile, supply chains still haven't fully recovered from global disruptions. So, what can you do? Try switching to store brands. They often cost 30% less and taste the same. Buying honey in bulk is another smart move. Its prices haven't surged like sugar. My personal tip: make sweets from scratch. I bake banana bread at home for a fraction of the store price, and my family prefers it. Also, check out your local farmer's market. I found a honey vendor selling at the same price for 2 years straight. And freezing seasonal fruits while they're cheap gives you sweet options all year. One last stat: food companies saw record high profits last year. So, while they blame inflation, some are clearly cashing in. You don't have to quit sugar, but being more mindful with your sweet purchases could seriously help your budget and your health. Food number 5, non-alcoholic beverages. If you rely on your daily coffee or juice to get through the day, you might want to sit down. Drink prices are rising fast. Non-alcoholic beverages are expected to jump 2.3% this year. That might sound small, but when it's something you buy every day, it adds up fast. Take coffee, for example. A bag that used to cost me $8.99 is now nearly $12.50. And orange juice. I saw a half gallon for $7.99 the other day. What's behind this surge? A big part of it is extreme weather. Coffee crops in places like Brazil and Vietnam are being wiped out by drought and floods. Some farms have lost nearly half their harvests. And when there's less supply, prices spike. Then there's shrinkflation. Soda bottles that were once 2 liters are now 1.75 liters, but the price hasn't changed. We're paying the same for less, and most people don't even notice. New tariffs are also driving costs higher, especially for imported drinks. According to the Yale Budget Lab, families could be spending an extra $185 a year just on beverages. And don't forget coffee shop drinks. That $5 latte habit. 5 days a week adds up to over $1,300 a year. But there are ways to fight back. I've started brewing iced tea at home. It's 80% cheaper than bottled. Swapping fancy coffee pods for regular grounds has saved me hundreds. Even switching to a filtered water bottle instead of buying bottled water is saving me $40 a month. Lower-income families are feeling the squeeze the most. USDA data shows the bottom 20% of earners now spend over 30% of their income on food, and drinks make up a big part of that. It's not sustainable. Want to cut costs without giving up your favorite drinks? Try store brands. They're often the exact same product as the name brand, just in different packaging. My cousin works in a bottling plant and confirmed it. They just switched the labels. And homemade cold brew costs me 50 cents a cup, and it tastes even better than the $5 version at the cafe. These price hikes are real, but with a few smart changes, you can keep your favorite drinks in your routine without draining your wallet. Food number 6, cereal and bakery products. I did a double take in the cereal aisle last week. My go-to box was nearly $2 more than usual. And it's not just cereal. Bakery items across the board are going up. In May alone, prices rose 1.1%, and when your cereal already costs $6, those small jumps add up fast. What's driving it? Skyrocketing grain prices. Bad weather last year wrecked harvests, and now processing, labor, and shipping costs are all climbing. Companies aren't eating those costs, they're passing them on to us. Plus, with new tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China, food prices are expected to rise even more. Yale's Budget Lab estimates the average family could lose nearly $5,000 a year from these combined effects. And it's about more than just cereal. We're talking sandwich bread for school lunches, morning bagels, and the pantry staples we rely on daily. The British Retail Consortium is projecting another 4.2% hike in food prices later this year. For families on tight budgets, that's a huge hit. Worse, many brands are quietly shrinking their packaging while keeping prices the same, or even raising them. That 18-ounce box of cereal, now 15.5 ounces. Bread loaves that used to be 24 ounces are now 20 ounces. It's shrinkflation, and it's everywhere. Even baking at home isn't the cheap fix it once was. Flour prices have doubled in some areas since 2022. Between the ingredients and energy costs, even homemade bread isn't as budget-friendly anymore. But there are ways to save. I switched to store-brand cereal, and my kids didn't notice at all. Buying in bulk when items are on sale and freezing extra bread has also made a big difference. Breakfast pastries. Try making your own muffins or pancakes on the weekend and freeze them for later. Discount stores like Aldi and Lidl offer cereal and bakery goods at nearly half the price, and they're just as good, if not better. A neighbor of mine joined a bread-sharing group with 3 other families. They take turns baking and swapping loaves, cutting their bread costs by up to 70%. You don't have to give up your breakfast favorites. Just shop smart. With prices climbing everywhere, these small changes can save you a lot, and your family might not even notice the difference. Mine sure didn't. Food number 7, chocolate and cocoa products. I never thought I'd say this, but your love for chocolate is about to hit your wallet hard. Cocoa prices have soared to record levels this year, and it's turning everyday chocolate into a borderline luxury. Just last week, I picked up my go-to chocolate bar at the checkout and nearly dropped it when I saw the new price, $4 for something that used to cost me $2. That's not just inflation, that's daylight robbery. Here's the part no one is really talking about: people are spending more money on chocolate this year while actually buying less of it. I'm not kidding. Studies show that although shoppers are cutting back on the number of chocolate items they purchase, their total spending is still going up. It's like we're stuck in this bizarre chocolate trap, paying more for less. And it's not just the high-end artisanal stuff that's spiking. Your everyday, no-frills chocolate brands are quietly raising prices too. Have you noticed how baking chocolate chip bags are smaller now? Or how those so-called family-size chocolate bars don't seem so family-sized anymore? That's not your imagination. It's the double hit of inflation and shrinkflation. Prices rise, package sizes shrink, and we're left footing the bill. So, what's causing all this chaos? First off, extreme weather has completely disrupted cocoa production. West Africa, where the majority of the world's cocoa comes from, has been hit with back-to-back droughts followed by flooding, absolutely devastating conditions for growing cocoa. And with these weather patterns expected to continue, experts warn this isn't just a temporary spike. We could be facing years of elevated chocolate prices. On top of that, supply chains are still recovering from global disruptions, and big chocolate companies know they've got us right where they want us. Let's be honest, chocolate is an emotional buy. We reach for it when we're stressed, tired, or just in need of a quick pick-me-up. And the industry knows we're not about to give it up, no matter the cost. In fact, some analysts are warning that chocolate might officially cross into luxury territory by next year. Imagine regular milk chocolate bars being treated like expensive gourmet items. It's already happening. Some stores have started putting anti-theft tags on candy bars. Yes, you read that right. The same security devices used for electronics are now being used to guard chocolate. That's how serious it's gotten. Now, I'm not suggesting you completely cut chocolate out of your life. We all need a little sweetness now and then. But there are smarter ways to enjoy it without going broke. One thing I've done is switch to store-brand chocolate-covered pretzels instead of pricier name-brand truffles. My kids actually prefer them, and they're half the cost. Another trick. Dark chocolate. It's more satisfying in smaller amounts, so you naturally eat less, and it tends to last longer. And baking your own treats at home can stretch your chocolate budget much further. A single bag of chocolate chips can make dozens of cookies, compared to the cost of a few store-bought bars. The truth is, chocolate is no longer the cheap, everyday treat it used to be. We're becoming the generation that tells our kids, back in my day, a candy bar cost $1. And if you're holding out hope for post-holiday candy sales, well, don't. Last year's clearance prices were a joke compared to what we used to get. So, what's the best strategy moving forward? If saving money is your priority, it might be time to rethink how often you indulge. Maybe chocolate becomes a once-a-week reward instead of a daily treat. Or maybe you start exploring alternatives like carob or newer plant-based chocolate substitutes. No, they're not exactly the same, but neither is your bank account after buying candy these days. And while we're talking about smart grocery habits, let's wrap this up with some practical survival tips for the food price crisis overall. First, meal planning. It's not just for fitness people or budgeting nerds, it can literally save you hundreds. I started planning our meals based on weekly sales instead of cravings, and my grocery bill dropped by 30%. Second, don't underestimate store brands. Most of them are made in the exact same factories as the name brands. The only difference? The label. Third, use grocery store apps and receipt scanners. I saved $43 last month alone by scanning my receipts for cashback rewards and digital coupons. And lastly, if you're in a good financial position, consider helping others. Food banks across the country are seeing record demand. If you can donate, even a little, you'll be making a huge difference for someone struggling to afford these rising food costs. And there you have it, eggs, beef, produce, sugar, drinks, cereal, and chocolate, 7 everyday staples quietly draining wallets across the country. Things are getting tough, no doubt about it, but we've been through hard times before, and we'll push through again. The trick is staying sharp and adjusting as we go. Got any grocery saving tips that worked for you? Drop them in the comments, I read every one, and your advice might help someone else out there. Hit that subscribe button so you're in the loop, and I'll catch you in the next video.